Hello and welcome, as today is the 18th of June 2019. My name is Derek. Welcome to the Money Charts channel. All bets, trades, and of the like, that's within each's own risk and their own reward. All right, then, let's start off with within Bitcoin dominance. On day number 4 of really grinding above this 18 average of highs and above this Fibonacci point and at the upper end of this resistance area range, but short term, this thing is possibly maybe breaking down or going down lower. I'm kind of hoping it does, but I mean the market will do what it does. 4 hour term time frame after this level of resistance coming back down to here on this single hour term, and this volume's like man whatever. But the yeah, I mean there's nothing else to show on this. Let's move on to Bitcoin next, which is down so far for the day since at least 8 p.m. Eastern Time yesterday, down 1.88% at 91.57 now as well, too. Yesterday's close in at 93 and a third. Let's see, when was the last time it closed higher than that? Just for coming, just checking and seeing here. Let's take a look. Well, it would be taking us back to we have 91 there, so 9300. That's not 93.56 on May the 7th. And that was the highest closed on May the 5th of last year. It closed at 9800, and its highest closed before then. We would be looking back to March of 2018 when we had a close at 99.20, and then the higher one at about 11,003, and that's that level. Going above 11,003, we're going to be talking about highs from January of 2018, which would be in the 12,000 range. And just to point out how much or how little 12,000 like 600 or so Bitcoin really was, the last time we seen it was January 2018, and the first time we seen it was early December of 2017. Okay, so there was that big decline and just a phenomenal rally. What I pointed out yesterday is that it's taken only or about a little over half a year to get a 3x move from the easy buy low bottom. And when I say easy low bottom, that means you had within a day or two anyway, it was so easy to buy at a level, meaning I don't count the wick lines that only last at a period for a short period of time. So from the lows of around 3,200, the triple would be 96, and it's approaching that area now. And before it took about an hour and a half, year and a half to get there. Okay, so then let's take a look at this on some shorter term time frames. 4 hour term coming down towards these, well, just correcting within the 18 very successfully on the 4 hour, losing its momentum as we can see in here. It got down below the 18 average at 1 o'clock in the morning, resisting and staying within the lows, which is newly declining in this point. Of course, support has been established at 9,000. Not saying this is breaking down, but momentum has been lost as far as areas for possible range support. It's already established this general area here around 90.68, but the more deeper area would be about 88 and a half, 88.40, whatever, the 88 mids to 89. And then, of course, resistance area, the upper part has been nicely established so far at the 9,400 mark. Let's move on to Litecoin. And we'll start off within its weekly chart against the US fiat, which is looking to be getting above this level here. Now, let's look at the size of these moves, compare to the size of these moves. Okay. So if you're telling me any of this overextended stuff, I'd like to see a higher volatile period. Also, this volume in here. Look at the volume back in here, and again, I mean, maybe this is I should be looking at the wrong chart. I should be looking at the cumulative Litecoin. And you know what? A nice chart would be for volume purposes the volume of like I want Coinbase, I want every possible exchange together. I want the volume for them all, regardless of which chart I'm looking at. That would give you a better indication of the volume. On the daily term time frame for Litecoin, we had these decent sized moves April 2nd and another one day after that, and not so bad in here. It's not really even doing anything, but just holding and staying in the sideways range right now above this Fibonacci level at 126 and 2/3. Holding for within the 18 average of highs, doing what bull markets do, staying above it, spending some time within the bands, little time below it, and a lot of time above it. That's what's going on within this bull market on the 4-hour term time frame. More of this choppy action. It's managed to get up to the 18 average of highs a little bit. The single hour chart up to this previous level of resistance, price action from 130 to 136. This is a statement, to say the least. Just had a major move above the 18 average of highs. And now we're seeing a little bit of red candle down, showing short-term retracement to the downside. It had a failed rally attempt at 5 o'clock in the morning. And then it had a failed sell-off breakdown in here. But ever since breaking out above in here, this is a very serious attempt getting above the short-term resistance. Double bottom, however you want to look at it, because there's a U shape here and another U shape or V shape. They're both the same at that time. And then getting above this level, well, I guess it reached this. Getting above this general area, which would have been like 134 to like 135, and now having a pullback well extended above the 18 average of highs. It's a wild card situation for, oh, do we pull back here well above the 18, which is going to calculate within the 5-minute 18? Do we go deeper into here, 38.2%? And shorter term, I think, is the only way for me to get any a real indication, because that was a fantastic move that I had on the 5. And when you're having this original pullback, it could easily be deeper. We could have a smaller lower high rally for it. But the statement originally, again, within this single hour term time frame, is that it's looking to revert this trend. Okay, we've gotten past one level. We'll most likely, if we're going to have this, like, still break above this point, and then we look at this on the other ones, 4 hour, getting above here. You're up to the one. Well, you got some resistance at 139, then again at about 144. And these periods, these candles are so small, as mentioned on the outset or the start of the Litecoin analyses, that getting above here, we're in the potential for some amazing moves. That the volatility we're going through now, of course, is nothing compared to what would come. Also, whenever a move comes in, it's either it succeeds or it fails. And if this fails to an intensity of this type of move going higher, you see any weakness near the 18 lows or not holding this key area around 132, then we'd probably be looking for a failed breakdown, which I would be guessing would be a pierce below 126. However, I'll let the market do what I do. I've been thinking for a while that this is most likely going to come up to around this 190 area. I felt 150 was a conservative level to where it would go to. Hasn't even gotten there yet at 144, albeit close. But okay, so that's Litecoin. Let's take a look at it against BTC. And after that, I'm going to be looking at Dash, but hopefully it's not doing what Litecoin is doing and falling down. At least hopefully, unless that's other than short-term moves, because I'm trading Dash against Theta. I'm trading everything against Theta. We'll talk about that as well, because Theta is going down. I've we'll just say I've already had a client sale for Litecoin for phone call. Hey, by the way, sell this amount. Litecoin's doing this. Buy a bit of Theta. Okay, we're done. It's the ratio is 1100, which is what the ratio is, at least on the trade, for Litecoin to Theta, which would have been sold at 148. That was 20 minutes before the video. Anyway, that was. I'm still waiting for myself. My ratio is next, a little higher. It's a fun game. But Litecoin having its move, just like it's doing against the dollar, significant move here. This was us too, and we had this failed breakout. We have weakness here at the 18, and then weakness here at the 18, and then a leg lower. So now another setup, establishing a very good level of resistance. And on the daily term time frame, correcting within this 18 average after a good correctionary move before, because it was the like, that's all the time. I want more periods, so I push the plus button. Anyway, point A high or point A low to point B high, correctionary move. And now this is technically a lower high or match or a very large pierce below. Regardless of the fact we had a successful correction here, same sort of deal is needed here. And I suppose whenever you have a set up like this with an amazing correction, which is a significant high or low, and a significant noticeable correction at that as well. And then you have a significant rally attempt, but it's a lower high. And then you have another significant of the same voucher correction, which is significant higher low. And the 18 average in here was working. Even though it went below the 18, this low compared to this was high. Right now, this low compared to this is high. So in seeing this correct, anywhere north, holding 134, this area here, that would be fine. 1345 area. If it can hold this area and start to find some positive momentum breaking higher thereafter, the probability odds and the possibilities for big plays seem to be very fantastic moving forward. And when we look at Litecoin, I guess I want more periods, so I push less. No, I want less periods, so I push, yeah, I wanted less. So within this, same sort of deal in here, low here, high here, beautiful correctionary move. The week of June 3rd, this timestamp up to this point in here, having a nice break above, back to the 18. So seeing momentum breaking above this and that same sort of deal would show a lot of great stuff. Now, come on, Dash, show me you're looking good. Because I got, uh, I'm waiting for the transfer to go through, and it's not that long. DGB's doing good. I want, look, cover that. Look like it went from like 4.8 to like 6. But that's what happens when you're at that price. Dash 5.2 stable, I guess, as far as its percentage move. Okay, not bad. Nice hold. Oh, this looks good. I can day trade this. Okay, symmetrical triangle and a bullish setup is what I'm seeing in here. As we have this and this. This is the symmetricalness. And we had this little pattern in here, which broke to the upside, which followed, of course, this move in here, breaking that level of resistance, and it's doing so amongst the 18 average of highs. Okay, so how am I going to day trade this? Let me just take a look at this further, because I'm selling this for theta. So theta has another thing. If theta just has a big move down, I'll just sell right now, whatever. But I'm still waiting for confirmations, although it should be done ASAP. 15-minute time frame, and I want more periods, so let's push the negative. Yeah, there we go. Good volume coming in so far. And this could be the start of a big spark rally. This thing could be at like 196 tomorrow, or even like in 4 hours from now. And this thing could be at like 285 in 5 days from now. The possibilities are very high. I'm only going to presume Ethereum. I haven't even looked checking that. Stuff like Ethereum and all the other ones I'm not looking at. Monero are probably doing pretty good as well. Ripple's doing okay, and DGB was doing good, but nice little breakout here on the single hour time frame, getting over this level of resistance. On the daily term, it's not looking anywhere near as good, but it's got this higher low in here to the 18 average of lows. I'd have to think coming to where it came from a bit more deeper would be about the 185 level, which should coincide with the 18 highs. But it is at the lows, it's at the correctionary phase. Support has been in this established level in here, but really it all comes down to this failed breakout in here, down to this move in here, falling down. So, okay, failed breakout, fast move lower. Maybe not. But at the same point, you got to look at a lot of this decline as in markets because Bitcoin's kicking ass that it's just not doing as well as Bitcoin. Case in point, if I just type in dash USD, it ain't going to look anything like this. Okay, let's take a look at the Kraken one, and oh no, it doesn't look anything like this. You got a nice little breakout pattern breaking out. And a friend of mine earlier was asking about Ethereum, and I had an amazing, nice little breakout pattern against the dollar. But first, we'll take a look at it against the, and it's not going up, so it's actually going down. So it's breaking down below this level of support, and this is a perfect example of showing two coins together because you look at this on the daily term time frame, it looks terrible because it's breaking down below this level of support. It's barely doing so. If we find any rallies, I'm not going to be too optimistic. It's going to get above the 18 highs. And even at that, I would even think it's not going to even get above like 3077 for that matter. That's where it probably meet up with the highs at that. And it's a pure breakdown on this sense. You have this move, correctionary phase, an attempt on May the 30th or 29th, whatever day that was, to break out. It didn't do it. Had a small attempt here in the end of the first week of June. It had another attempt on June the 12th. And again, it broke down below the support. But if I type in ETH USD, I got a nice little bullish pattern against the dollar. Yeah, how things are so much different when you cross it against two different things. So here from the break of this level area, this range of resistance. Okay, I want more periods, push the negative. Let's stick a little horizontal line in here because that's where obviously at the time that was majorly established resistance. And then in here just stable it congests and stabilizes a little above and within it and just easily at that, making 165 an easy trade. And then after it broke its a shorter term established resistance at about 186, it got up and established where we are now at 263. So that's where it stands now. This is the new established resistance area. I will. Okay. I'll get this in time. All right, so this is like a 3x hit area. We had it hit here on May 16th, again for it from the time span of May 27th through May 30th. Trying to on June 1st, so that whole section's a 2x play. And now here we are in the third x, really approaching it a couple days ago. A little bit of a pullback, but that's all it is right now, is just a little bit of a pullback. It's doing that. Meanwhile, we have this rising 18 average of highs, and it hasn't even broken below. The 18 average of lows is in at 250, so that would still take a 10% decline. So any type of breakdown on ETC, BTC would be a combination of probably two things. One, this just coming to the 18 average of lows, and thus having a higher low to the June 9th, June 10 lows. And the second one, Bitcoin going up. And thus, of course, that's that one going down. But yeah, two totally different charts to say the least. I suppose we'll be able to say the same thing about DGB. I'll go to this in a second, but short term, this is having a nice little pump in here as it was at the 133 handle, coming up to 146, now at 142. So another statement trying to revert the trend. This is a large statement again, to say the least, and it's early in its job. Or yeah, exactly. The job is, of course, breaking out, but the first part of the job is saying you want to do it, and doing it is having an uptrend, an up move, and we've been in the down one. So a big move like this is a scream. Okay, let's see how we go from there. Uh, Do we have a big pump from here up to 155 next, or whatever area, without just like a big run over whatever period of time? Maybe. Do we come back and then? What do I say all the time? We got to correct these big areas. The 18 average always going to be one of those spots. I see that we had some resistance here and a little bit of resistance here. 137 to 140 is the area that I'd like to see it hold on any pullbacks. It's at 141, so only one Satoshi left from making it to that point. And again, daily term just down so much, still well below the 18 average. The 18 average of lows is in at around 150. The highs is at around 162. If we look at this against the dollar, it's been strangling down a little bit, but just that, a little bit. And of course, it's going to get a little bit of upward momentum here. I guess I just will do this one here. But yeah, just really hanging in there. 12.8 cents. We've seen it up to 17, down to a penny. And when it's ready to go, it's going to be ready to go. But it's just staying within, of course, this weekly sideways consolidation pattern for now. And this one's catching me by surprise. I might be doing some Bitcoin cash buying because it's actually down 3.6%. I just looking at I mean, what's going on here? I'll take a look at the ratios in here, but against the dollar, it's not doing so well. But Bitcoin's down a little bit too, so I guess that kind of makes sense. Overall, within the short term, attempt here to rally out at 5 o'clock, failing. Attempt at 9:30, looking to fail as well. And within the daily chart, just like Ethereum, really hanging in there. Not as nice, I guess. I don't know. It's hanging in there, but it is staying. What do bull markets do? They spend most of the time above and within the 18, not as much below it. There was an okay amount below it here. And right now, the momentum, of course, is lost, but there's no downward momentum just at all either way. On the Bitcoin cross, it is starting to roll over, and downward momentum is starting. It is at that area of test of these two previous levels of support. 436 or 43.06, whatever handle you want to look at that as. Even really deeper down to about 42 handle is this little general area. I'm now going to be looking for this as resistance, meaning it comes in there and it isn't. That's a bullish situation of a possible failed breakdown. And if it is resistance on a bullish level, I'm going to want to see a higher low to wherever we see it at from this point. Let's take a look next at theta. It goes at 257. That's sweet. Okay, well, I might have some more trades there later. Where's theta? It's not down as much anymore. 1357. See, with all these other ones going up in my ratio trading, that means those coins that go up, these are the type of coins that I'm gonna be buying. And I have been buying some today, and I'll probably be buying some more if the markets allocate me to do so. And then at the end of the day, I'll be withdrawing funds off my Binance coin for whatever coins that I buy. I'll be selling this, buying that. I'll accumulate a whole bunch, and then I won't withdraw them immediately because I might accumulate more, and I might want to withdraw more. And the markets may revert back, and I'll just have easy coins ready to sell again. And then at the end of the day, I'll just, okay, what do I want to withdraw? And then that's what we do. But Theta, of course, has been going down. 1 hour term time frame continuously down. Daily time frame breaking down below the 18 as well. Let's take a look at this Go coin, 7.5 now. Okay, I mean, I've been selling it I woke up and I've been selling it all morning. So most likely it's at that 257 point. I've already sold there already. Or did I? 7 in the morning. I wasn't up at 7. I got up at like 8:30. Actually, I sold at 250. A sell order automatically came in. That's my highest sell. Okay, so within this, okay, first of all, this single hour time frame, nice little setup in here for this. I mean, I'm just taking whatever nice chance. This is like my fifth, whatever highest holding, sixth highest holding. DGB, Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Theta is all higher. And a lot of ones like Komodo are actually in the same area. And Dash is same area too. Anyway, it has the potential maybe for a decent sized game on the short term, 4 hour term time frame. Just making a statement right now. But within the statement, I can see in here that, well, first of all, it came down to this levels of resistance. We got to the first one here. Next one is up to this point in here. And within this statement, it hasn't been a big one of breaking out, but it's been a solid one in that within this one, we can see that, well, I'm not going to, with it, we've had a nice holding of a period. It's came back within it. We've seen it's came down to 244, now back up to 256. So that to me is all fine and dandy there. Is there anything much I want to talk about as well? Let's see. Sky 27, GRS. Yeah, T-Fuel. As far as strategy is concerned, I'm refusing to buy T-Fuel for funds that are not buybacks. I got one buyback left to go, and it's much lower, 265. And what I've been consistently doing is just reducing my sell order spot. Before it was like 366, and then it was before that it was 378. If I sell this, I'll buy it back lower. And then I'll put another one like 10, whatever percent, 9% higher. And I just keep doing that. And these coins were given me for free. I just try to accumulate as many BNBs. But for every one coin I sell, I buy one back, which means my buyback is going to cost me less BNB than it will. So whatever the differential of the two are is profit as I look at it. And the more of these trades that I can make, the better it is. Because if I happen to be able to sell at 360, I'm going to put a buy order in for about, well, I got one at 265. I'd probably lower it to about 245. I'd put a new one in at about 300. Alrighty, thank you for tuning in and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.